Good morning, Liberty Ridge Thunder Eagles. Today I will be reading to you A Fishy Mystery by Lisa Harkrader. It was a dark and stormy morning the day the fish disappeared. I skidded into my classroom and dropped my backpack. Guess what I have? I said. Austin and Zoe looked up. One of your birthday presents? Said Austin. A Sophia Sharp mystery? Said Zoe. Austin and Zoe were my best friends. They knew me pretty well. They also knew how to ruin a surprise. How do you guess? I said. Austin shrugged. It's the only thing you ever ask for, Thea. He had a point. I loved reading Sophia Sharp mysteries. Sophia was smart. She was brave. With help from her two best friends, she always cracked the case. I knew I could be a detective like Sophia. I just needed a case to solve. We got you a present too, Austin said. Only it's not a book. I think you'll like it anyway, said Zoe. Really? I said. What is it? But before they could answer, the bell rang. Good morning, said Miss Grouper. Miss Grouper was a good teacher. When she got going on math, even Rocky, our class goldfish, paid attention. Hold on to your hats, she said. We are going to learn about... Outside thunder rumbled. Then diagrams. Now, who has a dog? On the board, Miss Grouper wrote the names of everyone who had a dog. Then she wrote down everyone who had a cat. Some kids had both. She drew a rectangle. Inside that, she drew two circles that overlapped. In our class, we have a set of dog owners. She wrote the dog owners in one circle. And a set of cat owners. She wrote the cat owners in the other circle. In the middle, the sets overlap. She wrote the dog and cat owners in the middle. A girl named Charlotte waved her hand. What if I don't have a pet? Terrific question, said Miss Grouper. If you're not in a set, you're still part of the diagram. She wrote Charlotte's name in the rectangle outside both circles. Charlotte nodded, but I could tell she didn't like being stuck in that rectangle. Miss Grouper turned us loose to make our own Venn diagrams. Austin took to his like a dog takes to a T-bone steak. Zoe dove into hers too. I stared at mine. Then I had a brilliant idea. I started writing. When I finished, I studied my diagram. In the middle, where the two circles overlapped, was one word, girl. I blinked. That was it? That was all I had in common with Sophia Sharp? You forgot something, Austin scribbled in the middle section. Sophia has two best friends, and so do you. As I gave him a fist bump, thunder rumbled and lightning flashed. The lights flickered. The room went black. Giggles filled the dark. We were used to this. At Larkspur Elementary, the lights went out every time it stormed. Then I heard something new. Footsteps and a clank. I always carried an emergency case cracking kit. I pulled out my flashlight. As I flicked it on, I saw a shape dart through the darkness. Lightning flashed again, and the lights buzzed back on. Everyone giggled in relief. Then I heard a gasp. I looked up. Zoe was pointing to the bookshelf where Rocky's fishbowl always sat. The shelf was empty. Oh no, where's Rocky? The room erupted in chatter. Miss Grouper tried to calm everyone down. We searched the classroom, but Rocky was gone. I opened my kit. We have to solve this, I told Austin and Zoe. Rocky needs us. We dusted the scene for prints, but too many jumbled fingerprints covered the room. Our custodian's at a floor polishing convention, Miss Grouper told us. He hasn't been here to clean. We found water spilled on the bookshelf. Austin sniffed it. Smells fishy, he said. We collected evidence from Rocky's bookshelf: a rubber band, some fish food flakes, and chewed up pencil. I didn't think any of it would lead us to Rocky, but we bagged it anyway. I recorded all the clues in my detective notebook. After a thorough investigation, I said, Rocky isn't here, and nobody left the room. Maybe the culprit came in from the hallway. At recess, we questioned kids in other classes. Did any students leave their rooms? Any teachers? The principal? But nobody had been lurking about. I flipped through my pages of clues. I had to find the answer. There was a missing fish out there, and he needed me. I know, I slapped my forehead. Mr. Olson. Our custodian, said Austin. But he's so nice, and he loves Rocky. I nodded. Exactly. He loves Rocky, and he's always in the halls. What if he wanted Rocky for himself? I climbed up a bench so everyone could see me. I've cracked the case, I announced. The fish thief is... Thea? Zoe shook my arm. Austin pointed to a page in my notebook. Mr. Olson was at a floor polishing convention. I stared at the page. I couldn't believe it. Mr. Olson's alibi was right there in all those pages of evidence. And I'd missed it. I slumped onto the bench. I wasn't like Sophia Sharp. I couldn't even keep my clues straight. I'd never be a detective. Someone squeezed my shoulder. I looked up. You know, said Miss Grouper, Venn diagrams aren't just for math. They can solve real problems too, even mysteries. I thought about this. She was right. My clues needed to be organized. Thanks, Miss G, I said. When the whistle blew, I marched back inside. Sophia Sharp says a culprit needs two things to commit a crime: a chance to do it and a reason to do it. I drew two circles. In one circle, I wrote down everyone who sat close enough to the fishbowl to grab it while the lights were out. In the other circle, I wrote down anyone who had a reason to take Rocky. I knew the middle, where the circles overlapped, would give me the answer. But the middle was empty. Charlotte wanted a pet, but she didn't sit near Rocky. Mr. Olson was out of town. Who else had a reason? Austin and Zoe sat the closest, but they wouldn't take a fish unless... I stared at my two best friends. A smile spread over my face. It was you, I said. You sit closest to the fishbowl. You said you had a gift for me. And all I ever ask for is a mystery, said Austin. And you solved it. Zoe grinned. Happy birthday! I sat back in my chair, letting the wonder of it sink in. I did solve it. I solved a real-life mystery, just like Sophia Sharp. Except, where's Rocky? I said. Miss Grouper unlocked her filing cabinet and, with a flourish, lifted out the fishbowl. Rocky swam happily inside. You can't pull a caper in my classroom without me, she said. Austin nodded. Miss Grouper was in on it too. She wanted us to get excited about Venn diagrams. I was excited. I was so excited I started drawing circles. 3 this time. We have another case to crack, I said. I have a birthday party coming up, and we need to track down the perfect cake.